And worth $20,000. Tom Watson with 4 skins yesterday has the honors. Let's take a look at number 10. The 10th hole, 408-yard par 4, the first hole of the back 9 that is valued at $20,000. A drive to skirt all of the trouble in front of the fairway. The fairway itself somewhere concave, so that errant shots to the left or right will have a tendency to kick back towards the middle of the fairway. Grass bunkers on the left-hand side and a huge sand bunker in front of the flagstick, which is placed exactly 9 paces from the left. In order to avoid the sand bunker, consequently, the players usually wind up deep to the back of the green with extreme difficulty in cozying up to the flagstick. Out at 10, 1968 Masters champion, winner of 11 PGA Tournament events, Mr. Bob Goldie.
This is Tom Watson on this 408-yard par 4, number 10 with the driver. Fairly wide driving area. Wet fairway this morning. He started down the right center and it's hooking now to the left towards those grass bunkers. It's in good shape though.
So Watson rolling into the grass bunkers, although it is not a particularly difficult shot, is it, Peter?
No, it looked like it just got over the top of that grass bunker.
Tom trying to shut out the big 3.
There's Gary's drive with the driver down the center of the fairway, just working a little bit left. Now he likes to hit the ball from right to left. Good drive for Gary Player. Beautiful. Long drive. Look at that thing roll.
A $20,000 hole, and of course, Tom Watson won $120,000 yesterday. So Player, along with Nicklaus and Palmer, trying to break the spell and get on the board. Absence of any laughter or humor whatsoever. Arnie's away.
Arnie's pushed it to the right, but it is coming back. It's drawing a little bit from the right side edge of the fairway. Took a bad kick to the right.
It looks like it's in one of those grass bunkers over there, Bob. It doesn't look that bad.
Yeah. Actually, the tough part of this hole, Peter, is the second shot where they got that pin today.
It's a tricky little hole.
Now Jack Nicklaus.
Jack also right center. Good drive.
Little backspin, Bob.
So Nicklaus, Palmer, Player, and Watson are away at 10 in pursuit of another skin, with Palmer, Nicklaus, and Player trying to break the spell. We'll be right back after this. Coming off the tee at 10, Nicklaus and Player found the fairway, but Arnold Palmer had his drive kick into a grass bunker, and Tom Watson skirted the edge of one. So Palmer is away, and we'll see his second shot.
Vinny, he actually has a pretty good line, a good angle to the flag from where his ball is. He has the best
You
angle.
hold me up? This is the right club? CJ?
I think it's a very big one. It's smooth.
There's a little helping wind behind. He's asking, is this the right club? His caddy said, not a big one. Little 7-iron for Arnie.
Stop there, Glenn. Either right.
Going a little left of the flag. Good shot.
Good shot. Very good shot by Arnold. About 15 feet left of the hole, Bob.
Okay. Jack is taking a casual water drop nearest exit to some dry ground out near the hole.
No.
You got Jesse?
Really good. 138 minus 21. 17. Could they split it and give us some...
If I heard him correctly, Peter, I think he said about 138 to the hole.
I think he said 138 and plus 21, I think I heard him say.
Yeah, I bet.
$140-yard shot. Jack would like to start out very fast this morning and try to get something going.
Jack with an 8-iron. Started to the right of the flag.
It's okay. It's about 20 feet to the right of the hole.
Okay, but Jack's not happy.
Tom Watson with 4 skins yesterday, trying to come right back and grab another.
Get close.
Good looking shot, right in line with the flag.
Beautiful shot. Just like we said earlier, he's coming right out after him.
Thank you.
Watson again.
Tom Watson trying to put the heat on the other 3 from the outset, and he has done it already. Now let's see if Player can respond.
Very big shot for Gary. This is a very strong part of his game, as we pointed out yesterday.
He is on line. He is right on line with the flag.
Beautiful shot. 1 foot behind the hole, Bob.
So Player has
shot.
been heard from, Peter. You figure he's about ready to shake himself.
I think if he sees this putt go in, you notice yesterday he did not see a ball go into the hole yesterday.
So we'll see about Watson fighting Nicklaus, Palmer, and Player. And will Player finally get on the scoreboard with him? That's coming up after this. Jack Nicklaus, the first of 4 birdie putts on this 10th green.
Just like yesterday. Just can't get it in.
Ironically, yesterday, the only birdies were gathered in by Tom Watson. He had a birdie at 3, 5, and 9. Arnold Palmer now will be next up. Let's take a look at the second shot that got him there.
He's got a little knockdown 7-iron here, Vin, and he almost turned it over too much, but this caught the left side of the green.
Palmer from about 15 feet now, trying for birdie. Remember, both Player and Watson are close, and Player the closer of the 2. A $20,000 hole without an outright winner that would make the 11th hole a carryover worth $40,000.
Oh, from 12 feet after that little 7-iron shot in there, he's just basically a straight putt. If it does anything, it may want to wiggle a little to his left.
Boom.
So the first birdie, other than Watson's yesterday, is Arnold Palmer.
All right, there. Thank you. Huh? I don't know. Did I put the pressure on Gary?
No.
Now, either Player or Watson needs a birdie to have the hole and make it a carryover.
Now that could be big.
Gary, you can make that.
That could be important for later on, Vin.
You could hear Watson saying, that's okay, Gary will make it, meaning a halve.
Sure.
Gary's got a virtual tap in here from about a foot behind the hole to tie Arnold Palmer with birdie on the 10th hole. This will keep Watson's shutout alive with a tying birdie on the 10th hole.
So Player taps it in for birdie, and you could hear Watson in the background. Nice putt, partner. They just took $20,000 out of Arnold Palmer's pocket. That makes the 11th hole worth $40,000, and Watson is still pitching a shutout. We'll find out more after this. On the 11th hole, Jack Nicklaus missed from 15 feet for a birdie. Therefore, the hole was halved and became a carryover. The $40,000 added to the $20,000 of number 12 makes it $60,000. Let's take a look.
The 12th hole is a 177-yard par 3. This is where these players are going to get to do their impression of an NFL field goal kicker as they try to split these two cactus that you see. This is an intimidating hole because it gives the appearance of having two greens, but in essence it's only one. This pin will be cut today over the front left side of this green that you see right here. I don't think these players will have much difficulty with this today, and I think you'll see some birdies. Last year, this is where Arnold Palmer won $100,000.
Yes, this is Tom Watson surveying. A little helping wind here. Pin is placed in the left front, as Peter said. Just seeing what Tom is going with a 7-iron. Oh, it's in line with the flag. Is it enough? Sure is.
Not too bad, Bob. About 20 feet to the right of the hole.
Did it go down in that swale, Peter?
No, it looks like it's on the same level as the pin.
Because the players cannot see that swale. They were kind of wondering where it ended up.
That's right in Tom's range, 20, 25 feet.
You know, Tom hit an 8-iron. I said 7, but he actually pulled out an 8-iron.
Where's Tom's ball, Rabbit? Did you see?
Huh?
Did you see where Tom's ball is?
No, I didn't see it. Please.
You can see that pin right between those two cactus.
Player with an 8-iron started just right of the flag, and it's not drawing in as it usually does.
Ooh.
Where'd that hit?
What a bad bounce.
Must have been a sprinkler hit.
Hit the sprinkler.
So Gary must be talking to himself. On the front 9, he hit the flag stick on 2, and now he hits a sprinkler head on 12. It's as if the golf's gods are certainly against him right now. And remember, he and Arnold Palmer were both victimized by the swale on the green at 11. So they're extremely conscious now of that swale here at 12.
That's a 7-iron for Arnold, going a little left. Pulled it towards the left edge of the green.
Just jumped over the edge of the green, Bob. It's just in the light rough. Remember, this is the hole where Arnold won $100,000 last year. Maybe he can chip it in again.
Remember as well that Tom Watson is about 20 feet to the right of the flagstick. The only one able to putt so far. Now we'll see Jack Nicklaus, who missed that birdie putt from 15 at 11 to lose his first skin opportunity.
I think the fact that the players missed the green and Watson does not have a gimme putt, I think Jack's going to hit a good shot here. He wants to get back in this thing.
That's a 7-iron for Jack. It's a little to the right of the flag and drifting a little further to the right.
That's short too, Bob.
There we go.
So the only man on the green is Tom Watson, who appears to be omnipresent out here at Highlands. Watson's shutout continues, although he is still at $120,000, but there's $60,000 at the head of his next putt.
You never know when the weather's going to turn on you, do you? That's why Michelin developed the XA4 all-season tire. The XA4's as good in the snow as a snow tire, as good out of the snow as a great handling highway tire. And with proper care, its unique all-weather tread lasts up to 60,000 miles. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
There's a style in your life no one could ever deny. You're on your way to the top, and along the way you've always known just who you are. Where you're going, you've always known it. Where you're going.
going. It's exceptionally smooth Michelob.
Where you're going, it's Nicklaus.
When you rent one-way from most car rental companies, there are strings attached, like the drop-off charge at the end of the line, the one you pay to help get their car back. At National, there are no strings or mileage charges because we have a whole fleet of cars available for one-way rentals, and they're just $10 a day more than our regular low daily rates. So the choice is yours. Rent one way or the other. National Car Rental, a way to go one way.
McCallum, a perfectly conditioned fighting machine who throws any punch effortlessly with power and speed. His vicious attacks to an opponent's midsection have earned him the nickname the Body Snatcher. McCallum versus Minchillo, the WBA Junior Middleweight Championship.
Jack Nicklaus' second shot on this par 3. Remember, Watson 20 feet away from birdie.
This ball is buried. He's going to keep all his weight back on his right side and just drive down into the sand. Not a bad shot from that line.
The big question, if you assume that Watson will not make the birdie putt, is the ability of one of the three to get up and down and salvage par to catch him. Arnold Palmer now just off the fringe, trying to get it close. Moments ago, Gary Player hit a lovely shot from this grassy slope after hitting the sprinkler head.
Again, the strength of his game, pitching and running that ball, like we said yesterday. Just a gorgeous shot.
So he has a chance to put a little pressure on Watson. We'll see if Palmer can join him.
You know, Vinny, Palmer just told me as we were waiting for Jack to hit that he thinks he can chip this in. He said, I got that feeling, so let's see if he has the feeling.
Hit it too hard.
Some testers left, Peter.
Yeah, you heard him say he hit it too hard. I think the problem is everybody gets so aggressive. They're trying to chip the ball in or trying to hold the ball from the fairway. They just need to calm down a little bit and challenge Tom. They don't seem to be doing that.
Tom has to put up about a 3.5-foot embankment there. It's the same bank that Palmer made his deuce on last year coming up. He's about 20 feet. Quite a bit uphill.
You know, I played with Tom last month in Japan in the U.S. versus Japan team match, and we shot 59. And he seems to make the toughest putts when he's faced with them. He loves that challenge.
Well, he has one here. Going up. Breaks two ways.
Come on, get there. Come on.
Oh, my. That's $60,000. You talk about a buck short. That's a vault short.
It's interesting. Lee Trevino said that when Tom switched from that ping to that blade, he said if you ever mishit it, it will always be short with the blade putter. So maybe Lee's a prophet.
Well, now, of course, you got to remember Gary Player's about 2.5 to 3 feet to try and catch him. So he's not in yet either.
Now, these guys need to mount a charge. The door has been open. Gary and Arnold birdied the first hole, the 10th hole this morning, and Tom has not played that well yet today, so he needs to get going. But these guys have to rise to the occasion and really face it.
In fact, Bob Goby, now that we see him walk around that putt, it looks longer than our first guess off the monitor.
Right. It's a strong 4 feet. It's slightly over 4 feet.
Needs it for par to catch Watson. And remember, the 13th hole is a $30,000 hole. That would become a $90,000 hole if he knocks this in.
Gary stays very still on all his putts. Got it.
Oh, that 13th hole is going to be monumental.
Well, that's the second putt today that he's made, and that's good. That's good for his visualization.
So Gary Player gets up and down. Watson is short by an inch, and we're going to go to 13 and $90,000 on the table.
We know it would be more dramatic to see someone recuperating from surgery in a hospital bed. But hospital rooms cost up to $672 a day. And at Cigna, we've saved many clients a lot of money by making it attractive for people who can get just as well at home to stay at home. So to a company with high medical expenses, what you're looking at is a thrilling picture. Cigna, no one does more to solve problems.
These days, when you're pumping your own gas, nobody's going to ask to check your oil. That's your job. And Pennzoil is the oil for the job. When you're around golf course machinery as much as I am, you know you've got to check the oil to keep that engine protected. And you know you've got to use a quality oil. So when you check your oil, and you should, ask for Pennzoil.
Pennzoil, quality protection. Ask for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the new 1985 Colts from Japan. Colts represent automotive quality.
Konnichiwa. Sayonara.
Like the economical Colt 3-door, the stylish new 4-door sedan, the exciting turbo, the versatile Colt Vista.
The new 1985 Colts. Imported for Dodge and Plymouth. Built by Mitsubishi in Japan.
No.
Colt. It's all the Japanese you need to know.
Gary Player gets up and down at 12 to tie Watson. The 13th hole is worth $90,000. Let's take a good hard look at it.
The 13th hole is a par 4, 396 yards long. It looks like there's no fairway on this hole, but you'll notice there's a lot of desert and scrub brush here. Also, the bunker that guards the fairway here. It's about 245-yard carry to get into this nice green strip here, which is only approximately 110 yards from the pin. The green is long from front to rear, and the pin is placed way back in the left rear. I think a birdie will win a skin here.
Gary Player is a name to think about right now, although Tom Watson still has the honor. The Player tied Palmer at 10. He was involved in a tie at 11 and 12 with Watson.
Tom starts down the right side. It's drawing a little bit. Good solid hit. Carried over that swale.
Well, Bob, he's missed a fairway again. Now, the complexion of this whole thing is changing a little bit, Vin.
Ever since Watson missed a 5-footer at 10, he's been in trouble.
He needs to keep that intensity. Now, this man right here, my dark horse all week, he's made a couple of putts on 10 and 12. His whole facial expression has changed. You can see he's got a little more hope, a little more opportunity. And he's driving the ball well, he's playing well.
Started it to the right. He's hooking back a little bit. Got a good kick off of that hill.
Perfect. This is a very difficult fairway to hit. You can't see it from the fairway, Bob, can you?
No, you can't see the driving area. All you see is that sand in front of you. And it's very narrow.
Arnold is battling a bad shoulder.
He started at left center. It's drawing. It's going to have to hurry to clear it. Ooh, it just caught the lip.
Oh, you're kidding.
We heard in the locker room that Arnold has a bad shoulder. I don't know if that's true or not, but he just doesn't seem to have the extension he normally does.
I see the ball.
Again, we should point out, as we did yesterday, this course is not as awesome as it would appear, but where these four men are playing, it's as much golf as anybody would want, and then some. But you have optional tees on almost every hole to fit your game.
This is a spectacular view of this hole from this tee, but it's a long carry out to the fairway.
It started the right side. That left to right wind is holding it out to the right.
Closer. You heard Jack say closer. Well, he cut the fairway, Bob. He's rolling back down the hill. The ball will be a little bit above his feet on a second shot.
That looks like a turn on the Indianapolis 500, the way it curled in. Tom Watson, 31 tournament victories. He's won the mantle of champion in the British Open. What about thrills in his career?
Well, I've had a lot of great thrills in golf. My first great thrill was winning the Western Open in 1974.
then beating Jack Newton in the playoff at 75 at Carnoustie in the British Open. But the two thrills that in my life, both the British Open Championship at Turnberry in 77 and the U.S. Open Championship at Pebble Beach in 1982, where I did chip it in the 17th hole.
Most frustrating moment out there? Is there one that stays stuck in your craw, so to speak?
I think the two Opens in 74 and 75 both were hard to accept. You learn how to accept defeat out here more than you learn how to accept victory. You don't win as much out here as you do in other sports. So if you are a winner, if you feel like you should win, it's hard to accept sometimes not winning. But those two championships hurt a lot.
Inches, huh? Good. Right.
At 13, Arnold Palmer is on the very edge of the fairway, perhaps 1 foot standing in the sand, most precarious position, 132 yards away from the flagstick.
This is a very unnerving position to be in. This is how John Mahaffey hurt his hand a few years back. Although John's ball was stuck in the lip, you can see Arnold's ball is just out of the sand, but he still could jam it into that lip.
This is Arnold. Went to a little more club because he can't swing too hard. This is really a game of inches. You see, he's about 1.5 inches out of the bunker. And with his right foot way below his left. Easy to hit the ball fat, and he made good contact, and boy, it is right in line with the flag. That looks great. Ooh, a little long.
How far is that? 32. I hit it 950 yards.
You can hear Arnold Palmer told it was 132. He hit a 9-iron, and he carried over the green a good 15 to 20 yards. So in his mind, he's just hit a 9-iron 150 yards. Now Gary Player.
Gary Player with renewed hope. This hole sets up, the second shot sets up a little right to left. The pin is back left. This is a perfect shot for Gary as he plays a little draw with most of his shots.
A $90,000 hole.
Using a sand iron. Same club he used on number 10. A little to the right of the flag. Looks like the right distance.
Oh, lovely. Bob, how many wedges does Player carry in his bag?
Yesterday he carried 3. He carries a third wedge without a sand iron loft without the bounce. But today he took it out, he said, because of the wet greens. Didn't think he needed it.
What club does he leave out?
He leaves his 9-iron out yesterday. He put it back in today.
29.
A lot of the players are going to the 3 wedges. They feel like they need them more often around the green than they do the 2-iron or the 3-iron or even the 9-iron.
There you see Jack shot into that green.
Be the right stick.
A little right of the flag.
Good shot.
So Nicklaus is right there with Gary Player. Remember, Palmer is over. Watson, we saw his tee shot catch into the sand and cactus, and he hasn't been heard from, but there's the ball.
Peter, he has a tough shot because he gets too far to blast, and to pick it, he's got some scrub brush in front of him, and he may not get it high enough. He did, though.
Beautiful shot. Bob, that's rolled up to about 10 feet from the hole. That's Tom Watson's forte, though, that recovery.
If ever a golfer had the nickname Suitcase, it would be Gary Player, who wrote the book on the jet lag.
Venice certainly is, and that's something, unless you've traveled, you cannot explain to anybody what it's like. To do the occasional trip is not too bad, but when you have to do almost 6 million miles that I've done and be away from your family, and we have a great family, 6 children, and to be away from home, it's very difficult. You know, Arnold and Jack, who've been tremendous contributors to the game of golf, they have both got jets. You know, they can finish their tournament on Sunday night and be home on Monday and have the love of their family Monday and Tuesday and come out again on Wednesday for the Pro-Am and play. But when you're 10,000 miles away, that's very difficult. So, but like everything, one has to face up to adversity in life. To become a champion, you have to make many sacrifices. And I'm delighted to have made those sacrifices in life. I'm very pleased that my father was very poor. I'm very pleased that I made $60 a month for 3 years because it's given me a sense of appreciation, and I'm just delighted to have the opportunity to travel the world. It's a great education. My father wasn't rich enough to send me to college, but I've got something that I think is better than college. That's an education around the world, communication with people, see what's actually going on, not learning, and respecting people for what they are. And I think that there's something I'd never trade for, and I'm particularly thankful for golf.
So Gary Player has paid a considerable price for his education, but he has a chance to get it back. To put this hole in its proper perspective, if this were a $500,000 golf tournament, first place would be $90,000. This one hole is worth $90,000. If we do not have an outright winner on this 13th hole, you add 30 more, and the 14th hole would be worth $120,000. Peter, what did you win at Colonial?
I won $90,000 this year, Vin.
Here it is. You're looking at it.
We've got Tom Watson now from about 10 feet. Tom missed a 5-footer on the first hole today, the 10th hole, because Gary had a gimme birdie and Arnold had already made a 15-footer. That was key, I think, in Tom's mind, because he did not want to let up at all during these 18 holes. But he did on that first hole. He pulled the putt, and maybe that changed the complexion right there.
And, of course, on the 12th hole, he had that 20-footer die about an inch from the cup, $60,000 short at the time.
Peter, his putt should work a little left or right.
This is almost the exact same putt he had yesterday on number 9 for the $70,000 skin. Today it's for $90,000.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you. Once again, some pressure applied, particularly to Player and Nicklaus, because Palmy, remember, was off the green with his second shot.
I get my quarter out of the way.
Arnie hit a 9-iron over the green in his second shot, so this is the third. And now, of course, the best he could do would be a par, and since Watson has his birdie, why, Palmer will pick up. There's no need to putt. Nicklaus, however, is putting for birdie, trying to catch Watson, halve the hole, and make 14 worth $120,000.
Again, one of the most overused phrases in golf is keep your head still on the putter. But I think Jack needs to do just that. He's been peaking a little bit yesterday and so far today as well. So let's see if he can stay still and knock this putt in for the tie.
On 11, he missed his only birdie putt of the round.
Well, he looked straight
from there.
Now it's on the shoulders of Gary Player. Player knocks it in, halves the hole. We go to 14 for $120,000. If Player misses this putt, Watson wins $90,000. That would then give him $210,000 in skins. He will have won all 5, and he will still have the shutout against Nicklaus, Palmer, and Player. Otherwise, there isn't anything going on here.
Tom Watson this morning was very cool, and he said he's trying to block all of this out, and I've got to hand it to him. So far, he's done a great job. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Gary's going to make this putt.
Boy, you talk about saving the bacon. Gary Player makes a $90,000 birdie putt to have the hole with Tom Watson.
Hey, Gary. That's the first time you ever had Arnold and Jack rooting for you, wasn't it?
I'll tell you what, I keep saying to me, if you hold that putt, we'll give you $5,000. When I hold it, they shake their head and say, no, I didn't really mean it.
Good luck.
So the foursome going to the fourth.
Started to the center of the green, waited to ride the flag.
Oh, it's all right.
Come all the way back down in that big swale.
Wow.
7-iron? Yes, sir. It's a pretty good one for me, isn't it?
I think it's just a 7-iron.
You heard Arnold say it's a pretty good 7-iron for me, huh?
The biggest skin last year was $150,000, won by Player at 17. But here we have it at 15.
This could be Arnold's chance right here. Last year he had the big 100,000 skin. This year he could get the one for $150,000 right here.
Oh, hit it fat. Up behind it, it's going to be short of the green. Looks like in that grass swale.
Good gracious.
So the door is open for Nicklaus.
Really is, Vinny, because Gary is down that big swale and he's in 3-putt territory.
And Watson is over the back.
Well, Jackson.
There's a grim look, Ben.
The look of eagles.
Looks like he's getting that confidence back. He's got that stare, that look in his eye. Jack has always been a great competitor and a great middle iron player, which is just what he has on this shot. He hits a lot of greens.
Well, it's a little to the right of the flag. It's going to have to hurry to get back over that big swale. Oh, it did.
Okay.
All right, Watson is over the back. Players in the swale. Palmer is short, and Nicklaus is on. Let's take a look at this 15th hole.
The 15th hole is a par 3, 145 yards long. This is a fantastic little hole. It's not long, but the pin placement makes the hole. Today, the pin is really tough. It's placed in the left rear over a big hump and a swale down in the front of the green. I think a birdie is going to be very difficult to make here today, and if one of the great players do make a birdie, I think they'll get a skin.
As we see Jack Nicklaus walking to the 15th, there are those who were not with us at the time, but through tape and recording we're able to show it to you. Without a doubt, the most dramatic shot occurred at 14. With $120,000 on the table, this was Nicklaus' shot out of the bunker.
Now watch Jack's reaction. He has never shown that much emotion before in any other tournament, which just goes to show you the emotional elevator. Here you'll watch there he is.
However, what that shot did was save $120,000. He and Gary Player have the hole, so now it's $150,000 at 15. And really, Nicklaus is the only one with a good shot, a putt at the flagstick, because Watson is over back, Player is in another swale, and Palmer is short. One of the memorable things about Desert Highlands, back-to-back par 3s at 15 and 16. You will rarely come across that.
That's right. Here we've got Arnold Palmer out of the bunker.
Good looking shot.
Great shot by Arnold.
So Arnold Palmer getting close, hoping to have a hole and keep the skins alive.
Finally hit a halfway decent shot.
Sure was.
The only two back-to-back par 3s I can think of that are similar to these are at Cypress Point, 15 and 16, because the 16th, which is coming up, is a very tough par 3.
The 16th, which could be worth $180,000 if we have a halve here, measures 244 yards for a par 3.
Yes, I think the nearest point is right in here.
If you were perched high up on the boulders looking down at the desert floor, that'd be your shot.
Watson, remember, is over the green in a little bit of trouble. But one of the things you can never do is count Tom Watson out of any recovery shot. We said yesterday he doesn't hit a lot of fairways or greens, but he is great around those greens and then getting the ball in the hole.
And he knows if it's even a little long, he'll catch that swale and go back to the clubhouse.
He was in casual water back there, and he took nearest relief. Clyde Mangrum, the PGA, was back there, told him where to drop it. Once you take relief from casual water, you must take complete relief. You can't drop the ball and still stand in the edge of the water. He has a muddy line now, and it's very difficult to stop it. But as you said, he's capable of playing these type of difficult shots.
Get up.
He was intimidated, I think, too, about that swale.
That's right. He was trying to loft that ball up and land it just about where his ball stopped and try to trickle it down to the hole.
So Palmer's shot grows bigger and bigger now. He has a chance for par.
Hey, Arnie, I'm standing there. Arnie, it's getting a little quiet, isn't it?
I said, he's getting a little quiet around here. You could hear a pin drop most of the time on grass.
Gary Player. You can see his problem, like putting into the surf.
Again, this putt is not that difficult to get close to the hole, but it is extremely difficult to make. Well, like I said,
about 6.5, 7 feet short.
6.5 from a tie.
Palmer's about 4.5. Jack is about 18 feet on a pretty level surface for his birdie.
I think the door is open for Jack. I really think this is the time that he can step forth and take charge. Try to get something out of this.
$18 feet away from $150,000. Which is more than you would win for first place in an $800,000 tournament.
I wouldn't mind having that putt, though. Again, Jack's the designer. He should know. But he hasn't had any luck on the greens yet.
That's fast. That's straight down.
Jack Jr. caddying and talking to him. Jack unable to crouch because of the arthroscopic surgery on his left knee. That could still be a winner, even though he's disappointed. Went the other way than the way he read it. However, he's got himself a par.
Went the other way.
And Palmer's 4.5 feet away.
Okay, fellas, get him close.
Player's 6.5 feet away.
You heard Jack say, fellas, get him close. He's got a sure par, and he doesn't want anybody else to have a par either.
You want an in or out, Don? I'll leave it out. What do you think it does?
Tom Watson putting for a par to try to have the hole with Jack Nicklaus.
Feel a little fall to the right, but it looks like it's...
This is tension time, Vin.
Yeah, you know, you think of roaring crowds for tension, but the silence is what really kills you.
You know, Tom told me yesterday that Bruce Edwards, his caddy, has been reading all his putts.
Can you believe that? Can you believe him knocking that in?
That's right.
Now,
he's a cool customer.
Nicklaus would appear to have almost a gimme for a par. Palmer and Player are still away.
Hey, you want me to go ahead? Yeah.
No.
And no one's in a hurry. And it looks like...
That makes jump back Jack.
So if any one of the three knocks it in to tie the hole with Watson, the 16th is worth $180,000. There it is.
It's incredible the magical mastery that Watson has today and yesterday. It's unbelievable.
Jack, you look like you might get lucky and sneak one from him, but he poured it right in, didn't he?
Poured it right in. I misread the putt, Bob. I had the first putt. I looked straight from one side and looked like it might break a little left from the other side, and it actually broke a little right.
Let me ask you a question. I've never putted for any money like that. Did you have a little extra tension?
Well, Bob, if you don't, there's something wrong with you.
Well, I would have thought so. I just wondered what you were going to say. Thank you.
There's nothing wrong with anybody out there. We'll find out about anybody going to leak oil. $180,000 at 16.
The 16th, the 244-yard par 3, a spectacular hole, teeing off way up in the rocks, and it's a great contrast to the 15th, coming off a short iron hole to a fairway wood par 3. I can't see hitting a long iron here, but maybe these players can do it. You've got to keep the ball to the right side, because if you hit it left, you're in jail. If you do hit it to the right, you're going to be in these grass bunkers, but that allows you to chip the ball close to the pin, which today will be cut in the back of the green. I think a par would win this hole.
So the candelabra is on the table at 16 for $180,000. We will be back right after this.
The financial world, where investing is like being on the receiving end of a Jimmy Connors serve. Here you need a Paine-Webber broker to guide you, to back you up, to offer action-oriented recommendations, to help turn the unpredictable to your advantage. Because at Paine-Webber, we believe that the quality of life just might depend on the quality of your investment.
Well played, Bob. Thanks, Jimmy. Thank you, Paine-Webber. What do I have to do? Open up a Paine-Webber account?
You never know when the weather's going to turn on you, do you? That's why Michelin developed the XA4 all-season tire. The XA4 is as good in the snow as a snow tire, as good out of the snow as a great handling highway tire. And with proper care, its unique all-weather tread lasts up to 60,000 miles. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
The seasons change. From America's heartland to our gleaming cities, young men and those who inspire as well as coach gather for a reaffirmation of a truly American sport. This season, come home to college basketball when UCLA battles DePaul. America loves its sports, NBC style.
That's what I said. Well, even for skins of last year, or even yesterday's front nine, this is rather extraordinary. After Pomeroy player birdie 10, we have had 6 consecutive carryovers to reach 16, and the prize money now has gone to $180,000. It's conceivable we could very well go to 18, and it would be worth $240,000 all by itself. Let's go to Bob Golby.
Tom, that was a fantastic up and down back there. You were in the muddy water and you dropped, but you dropped pretty good, didn't you?
Yeah, I dropped in an A+ position. Usually I drop in about a C or a C-, something like that.
But actually your second shot was pretty good too, 1 foot from being almost perfect.
Yeah, I hit a good second shot. I actually hit a good tee shot off the tee. I just misjudged it. It was I thought it was a firm 7 into the wind, and I hit a good shot. Hit it nice and solid, but just went too far.
I saw Jack jump off. When your ball went in, he jumped about a foot.
Off his left foot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Watson again has had the honors. You go all the way back to when he won the skin at 9, and since he won the 4 skins on the front side, he has had the honor after the second hole. And here he is at 16.
Very difficult par 3. Tom will try to bring this from right to left.
Oh, he sort of popped it up in the air, but it is towards the right side of the green, and it is drawing back. Could be better than it looked.
On the green.
He sure is.
Himalaya's putt.
The way he putts, if he's on the green anywhere,
It doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, but this one is long. I'm going to pace it off when I get down there. He popped that ball up a little bit. He actually had the ball on a pretty good line. He just didn't hit it solid enough.
Bob, how's the wind out there?
It's a little bit against and a little hooky. So it would help a hook if you start the ball on the right edge. Should be just about right. See, the tee is very elevated, and this ball stays in the air a long time.
You can see that pin is in the back, and you really cannot see the cup from the tee.
Gary's going with his trusty 1-iron. Now he will try to play a little hook on this shot to pick up a little extra distance. started the right side, trying to hook it. I don't know if he got it solid enough, but it is coming back, riding the wind, going to catch the right fringe. Ooh, and got a great kick off of that hill.
And he's on the green.
Beautiful.
One of the few times Gary's ball has worked towards the flagstick.
You know, he's been here for 3 or 4 days practicing, so maybe he's tried that shot a few times before.
A 4-wood down there?
When you described the hole, you know, before, Peter, you said that play off of that right bank, didn't you?
Yeah, when I played it, that's the most logical way to play it, to bring it in from the right.
Of course, this 16th hole was extremely pivotal last year. The brouhaha resulting in the argument, Watson calling for a ruling on player. They finally have the hole, and the jackpot was at 17.
Arnold with a full wood, starting at left of the green and hooking 20 to 30 yards to the left of the green. But towards those big rocks, bouncing under the left side of them.
If I could find it, I might be able to play it.
That's where he was last year, wasn't it, Bob?
Yes, over in that area. This is not Arnie's favorite hole.
Rocks and sand and cactus.
I can hit anything else.
Jack going with a 3-wood. He does not carry a 4-wood. He carries a 1-iron. He only allowed 14 clubs, so he has to go with a choke down 3-wood. Good looking shot. Hanging a little right, towards the right rear of the green.
Get up.
It's in those grass bunkers to the right of the green, Bob.
Off the green?
So with $180,000 waiting for a winner, we're at 16, and we'll be back after these messages from your local station.
NBC presents a world movie premiere. He was the king of the Vegas Strip until his woman betrayed him and his enemies destroyed him. Now he stands alone against the syndicate and against the odds. Now he must risk everything in the biggest game in town, the Vegas Strip War. Tonight.
Take it from Dave Lennox. If you want to see a dramatic drop in your heating and cooling costs, I've got some friends that can help. Take this Lennox Legend 2 heat pump. It works year-round with a Lennox 2-speed compressor that can cut your cooling costs by up to 39%. To put one to work for you, call some other friends of mine, Verlin Rieger or David Shimsick. Verlin is your dealer in Burnett, and David is your dealer in Austin. Call one today. If they can't cut your heating and cooling costs, nobody can.
Attaboy, Dave.
Now, you've probably seen where Leif Johnson Ford guarantees you the lowest prices on any new Ford car and truck, or they'll give you $200 cash. Well, I had another dealer pitch me one of these incredible deals. I said, listen, if your deal's so incredible, you don't mind if I go down to Leif Johnson Ford and pick myself up $200 now, do you? Well, you know what happened. Turns out his incredible deal wasn't so incredible after all. Bottom line, save yourself some time and go to Leif Johnson Ford.
Leif Johnson Ford, lowest price or $200 cash.
All you want to eat ribs, now as close as Richard Jones Pit Barbecue. Ribs tender and juicy. Ribs smoked over hickory and oak to mouth-watering perfection. Beef ribs, pork ribs, the very best ribs in Austin are now served family style. All you want to eat at any Richard Jones Pit Barbecue. Enjoy all you want to eat beef or pork ribs served with all your favorite trimmings, including beans, potato salad, and coleslaw. Richard Jones Pit Barbecue, 4 convenient locations.
36, let's all be there.
The Skins Game, Year 2, is brought to you by Data General for computer systems that put you a generation ahead. By L.A. from Anheuser-Busch, a whole new brand of beer enjoyment. By Cigna, whose companies provide insurance and financial services around the world. And by the new Chrysler Corporation. We don't want to be the biggest, we just want to be the best.
Arnold hit under my rocks.
As you can see, Arnold Palmer, who hit his shot way left into the rocks and sand and cactus, he has picked up. So that narrows it to 3. Nicklaus is in the right grass, off the green, almost flagstick high. Gary Player is on somewhere 15 to 18 feet from the flagstick. Tom Watson is on, but he's a long way from the cup.
93 feet. I just paced it off, Vinny.
Thank you, Bob.
That's about the longest putt he could have anywhere on the golf course. Plus, he has to go over 2 gigantic knobs.
6 consecutive carryovers. And after seeing back-to-back par 3s, the players are now faced with back-to-back par 5s.
I think this presents the greatest chance for Gary to get a skin right here, because when you go to those last 2 par 5s, there are probably going to be some birdies. There are going to be some ties there. So if Gary wants to win some money, I think he's got to knock this putt in.
A little bit.
If we use the time and the luxury, we are faced with the delightful prospect of teeing the ball up at 18 and having 18 worth all by itself $240,000.
That's what you're getting for the telecast, isn't it, Vin?
I got that old ball that they threw out when Gary Player hit the sprinkler head. Watson, as Bob Golby counted, 93 feet away with a couple of roller coasters in front of him. And, of course, a 570-yard par 5 17th.
Move either side.
Just waiting.
You know, Vinny, actually, Jack has a better chance of making 3 than Tom because of the distance of this putt. If he can get within 6 feet, that'll be a pretty good approach putt from this distance.
After watching that putt he made at 15, nothing is impossible for Tom Watson.
The strength in Tom's putting is his speed. He always has perfect speed on his putts.
That's too hard. Thomas.
About 15 feet past.
Well, what a roller coaster. He's not happy with that one, I know.
Jack, fortunately, is chipping down a little bit of a valley. He doesn't have to negotiate any undulation whatsoever. It should be fast, too, because Pinnacle Peak is right at his back, and he's coming downhill and a little down grain.
Of course, we all remember the 14th when Jack came out of the sand and hit the flagstick.
I think Arnold is pulling for Jack. Wouldn't you think, Vin?
Out of the hole and rooting.
In the hole.
Hit the flagstick at 14 and go right over it at 16.
You noticed he took the flag out this time. On 14, he was robbed because the flagstick was in. If it had been out, he would have holed the bunker shot. So here, he took the pin out.
Like his putting, he plays one way and it goes the other. Let's take another look at that.
Jack's a little more still on this chip than he's been on his putts. And you can see it's a great shot, catches the lower side of the hole, excuse me, the upper side of the hole, and spins out. Watch his head. Let's still it. Boy, is that a study in concentration and emotion. Woo!
Now Gary Player.
Gary has to play a little percentage here that he doesn't run by because that's fast also. He's coming downhill.
Look at those numbers. Oh. Well, Player will get his par 3. Palmer is out of the hole. Watson is a good 15 feet away. The crowd, I think, is as emotionally drained as the players now.
I think Gary lagged that putt a little bit, Vin. I think he knows 3 might be good enough. Little smile on his face.
Looks like it kind of goes left a little bit even.
He won $150,000 last year on 17. And he just might win $180,000 here.
Watson trying to have it with him. Player has halved him a couple of times today.
Nope.
All right, Jack Nicklaus now is the one.
Come on, Bear.
Come on, Bear. You heard Tom say.
Jack needs this
Make a deal?
to have it. The Monty Hall of the golf world. I want to make a deal. He hasn't putted well at all.
I know Jack's making light of this, but he really wants to make this putt. Not for the money, I don't
Chip
think,
broke a lot coming down there.
but pride.
Just outside the cup. Thank you.
Remember, it's not as if the till will be empty no matter what. There's 60,000 left at 17 and 18.
He's a good 8 feet, Vinny.
8 feet.
Not too much, pretty straight. Not much break.
Oh, wow. $180,000 save. And for Gary Player, he's just had his pockets
great.
hit.
Yeah, that's your first putt of the day, isn't it?
My first putt of the tournament.
Yeah, that was great. That was you look
Thank you, Bob.
solid and good there.
Yeah, I'd like to have had it for a win, Bob, but it's always nice to have one to stay in there.
That's right.
And the oxygen is getting thinner by the second. $210,000 at the 17th coming up. Gulp.
Chrysler introduces the new technology of driving. Turbo New Yorker. Front-wheel drive, electronics to inform you. Chrysler luxury to comfort you, and turbo power to move you. Turbo New Yorker. Once you drive it, you'll never go back to a V8 again. This is Chrysler's most technologically advanced luxury car, backed by the Chrysler Protection Plan. Turbo New Yorker by Chrysler. The best built, best backed American cars.
Here's New LA, brewed for all the great taste you've come to expect from Anheuser-Busch.
You've shaped this world, changed it, made it better, rearranged it in the way you think and what you drink and everything you do.
Taste LA for smoothness, drinkability, and just half the alcohol of our regular beers.
For the way you live your life today.
For the way you live today, LA. For the way you live, LA.
Taste it.
It might be more interesting to see a polluted lake, angry protesters, and an endless stream of process servers. But at Cigna, we have a highly sophisticated program to assess a corporation's treatment of toxic and hazardous materials and to help reduce its exposure to environmental liability. And if that's a concern to your company, what could be more interesting than an exciting afternoon like this? Cigna. No one does more to solve problems.
The par 5, 570-yard 17, 3 fairway drives, plus Palmer catching the sand and cactus. Then Jack Nicklaus with a conservative layup. The second shot of Player finding sand, as did Watson shot into the bunker. Palmer coming out left himself a good 135 yards from the green, and so we're ready to take a look at the third shot for $210,000. Nicklaus, after laying up, ready to hit his third shot on the par 5. Gary Player caught the sand with his second shot. Watson caught the bunker with his second shot. And Palmer is on the green, although long away from the flagstick.
Jack's using a sand iron.
Beautiful shot, Vinny.
So he had a 2-footer at 15 for par and made it. He had an 8-footer at 16 for par and made it. And he has that now for birdie and a shot at the money. Arnold Palmer, you remember, had come out of the sand. This was his third shot. He hit a 6-iron.
Don't go too far. Come down. Ho. Ho. 7-iron shot.
Then he second-guessed his club selection. Meanwhile, we're back with Gary Player.
Again.
You better just put a spot on that.
Player, you remember, with a fairway, then went to
Take a practice swing? Yeah.
the gamble.
Take a practice swing? Yeah. And hit the ground like I'm going to play the shot? That's correct. I'm going to play a bunker shot, so I can hit the bunker shot.
Vin, this is the transitional area again that we were talking about. You heard Gary say, asking Clyde if he could take a practice swing and hit the sand. And because it's not a hazard, he can do that.
Good looking shot if it bites.
Didn't hold for him. So Player much farther from the hole than he would wish. Nicklaus nice and close. Tom Watson, his second shot caught that bunker. So he'll try now and get up and down.
Time and time again, a great bunker player.
Go on. Go on. Go on.
So that now goes center stage with Nicklaus, and this hole is between Jack Nicklaus and Tom Watson with $210,000 at stake.
Thank you. Got the rock closer than the ball. Yeah.
It's safe to say, Vin, that somebody will go home with nothing.
That's hard to believe.
Right there.
And we also heard Arnold Palmer walking up towards his green say, one thing you can bet, there'll be some fours here. Well, the two men who are looking at probable fours are Nicklaus and Watson. Palmer has that overnight hike to get his four.
And whoever wins this skin will return next year as a defending champion as well.
And if we have a halve on this hole, the 18th hole would be worth almost a mind-boggling $240,000.
There are some serious stares right now, Vin. A lot of serious golf out there right now.
You can make yours, can't you, Jack?
And some not so serious comments.
Yes. Yes, I want you to hold it, please.
That's the charm of skins. You could be a Palmer, play erratically, never in any hole particularly, and then knock one in and walk away with a bundle.
That's right, just like you did last year. Yeah, he still takes a run at it, Vin. He is never short.
Oh, I hit it right where I wanted to hit it. Hit it right where I wanted to hit it.
He's still so aggressive. It's great to see.
Well, I better mark it.
He better mark it, even though he says, I don't know why. He better.
Oh, I thought that would hold up.
So Gary Player now could not hold coming out of the sand, so a longer putt than he would anticipate prior to the bunker shot.
Huh? What did you see from this side?
Talking to Rabbit, his caddy. Gary hit a jackpot here last year, you remember, but he was then within 5 feet of the hole when he won 150. But that's what's on the line now.
I just can't see Tom missing his putt for birdie, and I think this putt is very important because Jack's a little bit farther outside of Tom's putt. Good try. Very good try. Gary's putted well.
I'll just take mine out of there.
That won't get it. Then you heard Arnold Palmer say, well, I'll get mine out of there, the marker. So now it's down to Nicklaus and Watson.
Still missed it lit.
And great pressure on Nicklaus because I think most of the players down there are thinking that Watson will make his putt.
That's right.
That's it.
7 feet, Benny.
7 feet, says Bob Colby.
This is the same spot where Jack missed last year, which enabled Gary to win the skin.
To have it with player. Now he knocks in a 7-footer to either win it or have it with Watson. So now you talk about a white knuckle job and a knee knocker. This is it.
You notice Tom Watson was smiling there. This is why he's the great player that he is. This is a challenge, and I think he really relishes this challenge.
Three and a half feet, Vinny.
All right, if he knocks it in, it's a carryover, and it would make the 18th 240. Yes.
He's tough. He is the toughest. Look at that.
And it has all come to the 18th hole. $240,000. We'll see if someone can grab it.
Hi, I'm Mr. Taylor. My secretary made a reservation.
Yes, she requested a Camaro.
A Camaro? I'm afraid that's a bit much.
It's only $29.95 a day. And fun to drive.
Well,
Why just rent a car when for only $29.95 a day,
National Par5s, which gives great contrast to the last few holes of the skins game. You've got to keep your drive to the right to avoid the bunker on the left. If you remember last year, Jack Nicklaus topped his second shot in an attempt to go for the green in 2, but still recovered with a 6-iron shot and a birdie for the $30,000 skin. If you can't reach the green in 2, you must lay up to the left side to avoid this huge mound that guards the right front of the green, which is where the pin is cut today. I think they're going to need a birdie here to win a skin.
Our 8th consecutive carryover, and that wild dream that we imagined at the top of the show has come through. Without an outright winner, without a skin, we go to the 18th, $240,000. The other 120, of course, picked up by Tom Watson yesterday. But 2 dramatic putts by Jack Nicklaus to stem the tide and keep the skin alive. That 8-footer at 16, that took money from Player, and the 7-footer at 17 took money from Watson.
I think this is the dream that we all had in our mind, like you said, about coming to the last hole today for $240,000, or really $360,000. And here we've got it. I think it just sets the stage for some great, great golf.
So the thought about Watson pitching a no-hitter and a shutout could still be. He could win everything.
Tom needs to put this ball in the fairway.
He started to the right, hooking it back. Good, solid drive. Just cleared that bunker and it's...
But we got a break, caught the water, kept him from going left. Is that right? Good shape. Huck Finn. Tommy Bob Thwackett. Boy, is that tight lip or what? He loves it, though. Gary, having driven well all day long, needs one more good drive.
Well, and he got it. Started right center, is drawing back right in the middle of the fairway. Good, solid hit.
Boy, he has really played well, Bob, hasn't he?
He's hit the ball very solid.
Arnold Palmer, you remember, as we look at Gary Player, had a pickup at 16 and then hit into the sand and cactus off the tee at 17. So he's looking for a good drive. He hasn't had one in a while.
Started to right. It's not coming back. It's hanging out towards the gallery.
And he's in more trouble.
He's in the bunker.
First time I ever teed off last in every hole.
There you have it. First time ever.
Could never move up.
Might not be every hole.
Huh?
That's right.
Every hole?
Every hole.
Jack missed that. Tom said it might not be every hole.
A tough game.
Jack's biggest drive today was back at 14.
Down the middle. I don't believe it was his most solid hit, but it's a good playable drive.
So 3 of the 4 in the fairway. Arnold Palmer is in the bunker, and $240,000 waiting for the winner.
It would certainly be more dramatic to show you crew members frantically trying to keep a load of cargo in place during a storm. But at Cigna, we have engineers all over the world to make sure our clients' cargo and our clients' ships can weather nearly anything that comes up. Because we realize that when you have property on the ocean, few things are as appealing as an undramatic trip. Cigna, no one does more to solve problems.
Chrysler creates a more powerful laser because the competition is always on our tail, and we intend to keep them there. We boosted turbo power. 0 to 50 Laser XE is faster than Toyota Supra. Front-wheel drive laser beats Camaro's E28 in the slalom. And Laser XE has advanced electronics, marked cross leather available, and the Chrysler protection plan. Laser XE, the competition is good. We had to be better. Chrysler, the best built, best backed American cars.
I'm climbing a mountain of 270,000 packages and letters, which is just about what Airborne picks up and delivers every week. 3 years ago, when Airborne started challenging Federal, this mountain was just a molehill. Then we began delivering most of our packages before 10:30 a.m. And today, more and more people are switching to Airborne than ever before. At Airborne, we'll move mountains for you. So watch out, Federal. Here comes Airborne.
You know, raking the bunker is just a little something we do for the good of the game. And here's something big you can do for golf. Join the USGA Associates program. When you join for only $20, you get a bag tag, the official revised rules of golf, a year of golf journal, even a tax deduction. Let's work together for golf. Call now to join. Hey, thanks. And thank you, too.
As we reach the 18th fairway and $240,000 in prize money on this hole, a couple of thoughts. If we do not have an outright winner, we would then go to 15. The prize money would remain at $240,000, and the 15th is a par 3. But there's a lot of golf left before we make that turn in the road. Palmer in the sand. He was in sand and cactus at the 17th, sand and cactus picked up at the 16th. It's been a bumpy ride for him.
Yeah, Arnold hasn't driven very well today, and I know he's very upset about that.
But he has a clean lie here, and he can lay up to where he can get a decent third shot at the flag. So he's really not out of this hole yet.
You never know. You never know.
You know, last year Jack topped his second shot and hit a 6-iron and birdied the hole and won $30,000.
He hit a good shot. He started to right, drew it back in the middle of the fairway, and it's going to the left side of the fairway, which is a good spot to come into that flag.
And that pin's to the right, so he's got a good angle. Gary really hasn't played a good fairway wood shot yet, Vin. I think it's time that he knock one down the throat of the flag.
Remember, at 17, his second shot went into the transitional area.
He's going to have to go left because he has no chance of getting near the green. He has to go to the left so he has that good angle to the flag. That's a perfect shot. It's going to left center, and that's just where he wants to be to have the perfect angle to the flag. Arnie, you've had a little sand trouble here the last couple holes.
Oh, Bob, my swing's just too fast. I'm not timing it. I've got the hook in the ball, and I stop the hook and hit it straight.
Let's see what Jack can do.
Yeah. It's a tough pin placement here, Bobby, for a second shot into the hole.
Good ball.
Good shot. Left center.
He's put it in good position, too, to chip in. I thought he might try. Tom's certainly going to go for it, I have a feeling.
You're in good spot, though, Arn.
Yeah, I'm happy. You know, it's the next shot now, which has to be a good one.
You've got your army with you, though, haven't you?
Hey, listen, they've stuck through thick and thin.
I don't think he can reach it, but he is going for it.
Got a good angle, Bob.
He's hit it way right.
He's hit it to the right. Right of those humps.
I believe he could have gotten there, Arn.
Oh, he's past the pin now, Bobby. He's, but he's got a hard shot. I would say a hard shot. It's not an impossible shot.
So Nicklaus, Palmer, and Player are in the fairway short of the green. Watson is to the right of the green, just behind a little mound, and the plot thickens.
Astronauts sure do have to have the right stuff. Like this insulation Manville developed to protect the skin of the space shuttle from 2,000-degree temperatures. And what's Manville doing with all this insulation knowledge? Making your car a quieter, cooler place. There's insulation under the roof and under the hood. And some special high-temperature insulations, too. Appliances are another place you'll find quality Manville insulations. Yes, quality Manville products do make your world a better place.
Data General asks, are you buying yesterday's technology? Data General, computer systems so advanced we win more major contracts than any other company. Data General.
The financial world, where investing is like being on the receiving end of a Jimmy Connors serve. Here you need a Paine-Webber broker to guide you, to back you up, to offer action-oriented recommendations, to help turn the unpredictable to your advantage. Because at Paine-Webber, we believe that the quality of life just might depend on the quality of your investment.
Well played, Bob. Thanks, Jimmy. And thank you, Paine-Webber. What do I have to do? Open up a Paine-Webber account?
The secret of the new luxury is science. This efficient turbocharger is now available in all new Chrysler LeBarons. So now you enjoy LeBaron luxury with the power of a V8 and the efficiency of a Ford. Indeed, you have never been moved like this before. The new turbocharged Chrysler LeBarons. Quality, backed by the Chrysler Protection Plan. This is the new science of luxury from Chrysler. The best built, best backed American cars.
Here at 18, Arnold Palmer would appear to be away, and I believe we heard the measurement at 93 yards. Then you have Gary Player about 40 yards.
What do you have?
Nicklaus 35, and Watson almost pin high.
13, 93 in
93 on the money.
80 to the where?
You can see the shot he's got there.
Are you sure you got that right?
Yes, sir. Arnold questioning the yardage a little bit.
Where is that from, CJ?
Huh?
Where does that measure to? The middle?
Yes.
The middle of the green?
Yes.
The case, Peter, where he doesn't quite, he wants to be sure before he takes that swing. He doesn't want to be over the ball and wondering if his caddy's right.
For $240,000, I would too.
He has a little wind in his face, so it's going to play an extra 5, 6, 7 yards longer. The pin is just below a big hump there, so he could actually carry past the hole and come back to the hole with a little backspin. It's going to carry past the flag a little bit, and it's out to the right.
Oh, here it comes.
though. A good check to flirt with, but escape that bunker.
Well, it has to come left if you keep it to the right.
Now we get to Gary Player about 40 yards away. And the crowd moving, that is a considerable distraction, particularly at this stage of the day. That's his shot.
Gosh.
Looked like it was going to check, and then it just jumped on outside of Arnold.
I think he was trying to knock that down and play a different shot than Arnold, try to bounce the ball in where Arnold wanted to throw it back and suck it back down that hill.
So now Jack Nicklaus, 35 yards off the green, talking to Clyde Mangum about casual water. We had quite a bit of rain last night, all morning,
And then the
heavy
next
fog.
question is, where's the driest? This is the little knob right here. You tell me if that is.
Jack has been the savior to keep the skins alive with an 8-footer at 16, a 2-footer actually at 15, and then a big 7-footer at 17. So he has suddenly become the pivotal character of the round, as he has been throughout his career in tournaments.
And the man that we shouldn't forget about over to the right of the green, Tom Watson. As I said earlier, Tom loves to play fast, and everybody that's played with him and watched him play through the years knows he loves to grab the club and hit it. You can see here, he's watching the shot. He's not watching Jack. He wants to keep his mind on his game and on his shot.
The day had an ominous beginning for Watson when he missed a 5-footer at 1. He has been in some trouble, missed a 20-footer at 12 by an inch that was worth $60,000. So Jack Nicklaus now, his third shot, trying to get close. He has seen Palmer check and come back. He saw a player hit and go forward of the flagstick. And remember, Watson is to the right of the green, almost flagstick high. Nicklaus' third shot, and he is very much in birdie country.
It's a beautiful shot for Jack right there. Jack doesn't get much credit for his short game, but Jack has got a great short game.
And of course, he took some lessons from Phil Rogers, and
I think throughout Jack's history, he does everything so well. He drives good, he hits his irons good, he putts good. That you, with the great players, you always have to try to find some part of the game that's not up to standard, say. But Jack's got a great finesse game.
Well, talking about finesse now, that's the key word for Tom Watson.
That's his middle name.
Tom's third shot on the par 5.
Oh, he got a bad kick off the fringe of the green there, Vin.
Yeah, you heard him say go immediately, which meant the ball was not going to land on the green. It actually hit where the rough meets the green and just kicked off.
Well, with Jack Nicklaus about 7-8 feet below the hole, that puts him in the driver's seat. I'm a little nervous, Vin.
Now for sure.
Bob, how do you feel?
Well, I'm a little, hands are sweating, holding this mic. Looks like Tom's going to be out. Tom had such a delicate shot, as you mentioned, Peter, that he tried to carry on the green, but he tried to play a flop shot, a real dead shot, and he just hit it a little short.
It almost looks as though if it had hit a foot short of where he did, it might have killed it enough to put it close to the hole.
Yeah, these boys are really doing some gardening, aren't they?
Stuff stopped now, didn't it?
Yeah. Huh? You heard Arnold say all the funny stuff stops now.
To equate, and again, that's the most money on this one hole. You couldn't win that much in any tour event. First prize tops for an $800,000 tournament is $144,000. This one hole is worth $240,000. We've had 8 consecutive carryovers. Ever since Watson missed a 5-footer on 10, and Palmer and Player tied.
That's good. You're fine.
Tom's had his game plan the whole way around through the first 17 holes. He's kept very calm, very cool. And he seems to be pretty cool right now.
And he's kept his shutout.
Remarkably,
he has kept Nicklaus, Palmer, and Player from winning a skin for 17 holes, while winning the only 4 skins yesterday to give him $120,000.
Return that.
Boy, the way they're working on this green, you think this hole was worth something, huh?
I've never seen Tom take that much time.
What was it ever Dirksen said of it in Washington? You know,
breaking much at the end,
a billion here and a billion there, and it begins to add up.
See about 3 inches outside the cup. Too much? All right.
He might be trying the reverse approach. You know, they slowed him down a little bit, huh?
Yeah?
Boy, he's come close. Not as close as 12, where he missed $60,000 by an inch, but close enough.
Yeah, it did 60.
So Tom has his par. The other 3 are still alive with birdie possibilities.
Who would have thought that the threesome starting out the day trying to beat Tom are now competing against each other on this last hole?
Here's Gary.
Just missed it to the left side, Vin.
Well, as Agatha Christie would write, and then there were 2. Interesting, with everything up for grabs, the names Nicklaus and Palmer are bracketed here at 18. How many times, how many years, how many tournaments, how many golf courses have they gone head-to-head against each other?
I think that Arnold's strength going into this tournament was the fact that all of America is pulling for him. And you could hear the crowd behind him really rooting for Arnie.
And again, it's the charm of skin.
Weak.
His arms are weak, but not as hard.
You know, he did get a little bit of teach from Gary's ball. Gary's ball went pretty straight down there. Arnold got a chance to watch that ball roll.
And all Nicklaus can do is stand and wait.
Jack has another one of those 8-footers that we...
And then there was one. Jack Nicklaus is 8 feet away from $240,000.
Man.
Peter, he's made 2 of these in a row.
Yeah, he has.
Right in the heart, too.
I think he's going to make this, Bob. The stage is set. He built the golf course. He's very much a force here at Desert Highlands.
Well, let's see,
love
Jackson.
him.
As I recall, I think we're the only one that has a chance. This particular point. Yeah, I don't. His ball broke a lot. I think I'll just take another look at it. You got the time, don't you?
Let's see if that knee bothers him again.
Jack.
What's confusing him is Arnold's ball. Gary's ball stayed to the left of the cup down. Arnold went to the right, and Jack can't quite make up his mind.
Jack's bending down a little bit farther this time, despite the bad knee.
Confusing putt, isn't it?
If he's looking for help, he won't get it. $8 feet away, $30,000 a foot.
Whoa! Where'd the putter go?
Jack, you better get that putter.
You bet. I want that thing back, Bob.
That was great.
Woo!
That was 3 beautiful putts coming in.
Thank you, Bob. I felt lucky just to be here and to be able to come in and make the last putt. Well, I'm looking forward to coming back next year.
That course that you built, and that brings you back next year.
You're darn right.
Nice going, Jack.
Thanks, Bob. Hey, laddie. Thank you very much.
Nice putt.
Appreciate that. Thomas?
Way to do it.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
Introducing a Plymouth engineered with quality and luxury to challenge Buick Century and Old Sierra, but for over 1,000 less. Introducing Caravelle. Match it. Caravelle with luxury equipment and comfort for a family of 6. Caravelle with the 550 protection plan and the option of turbo power. The 550 Plymouth Caravelle. Match it if you can. Plymouth. Best built, best backed American cars.
We could show you a successful person worried about taxes, finances, and investments. But at Cigna, we have a program of financial planning to help people keep more of their money and more effectively manage the money they keep. And the peace of mind this has made possible has frequently been so great, it's produced results every bit as dramatic as this. Cigna, no one does more to solve problems.
You never know when the weather's going to turn on you, do you? That's why Michelin developed the XA4 all-season tire. The XA4's as good in the snow as a snow tire, as good out of the snow as a great handling highway tire. And with proper care, its unique all-weather tread lasts up to 60,000 miles. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Here's New LA, brewed for all the great taste you've come to expect from Anheuser-Busch.
You've shaped this world and changed it, made it better, rearranged it in the way you think and what you drink and everything you do.
Taste LA for smoothness, drinkability, and just half the alcohol of our regular beers.
For the way you live your life today.
For the way you live today, LA. For the way you live, LA.
Taste it.
So Skins of '84 will be best remembered by an 8-foot birdie putt from Jack Nicklaus that was worth $240,000. It'll burn into the mind, imagination, and memory of this